We know that consulting, that service providers have had a really tough time over the past couple of years. It is not as frothy as it was. People are being really careful about every dollar they spend right now. But I do think there is still opportunity to raise prices in the right way at the right time. Welcome to Girls Make Bank, the podcast show for women who want to learn the art of selling for business and for life. I'm Jack White, seasoned sales professional, entrepreneur, and owner of Honeybees Group. Come back each week to hear inspiring stories from some of our favorite business owners. Learn how to take the ache out of selling and make bank. We're all in this together, so let's get started. Hello and welcome to a solo episode of Girls Make Bank. I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but I have had 3 client conversations in the last week on the topic of raising prices, and it felt like it was a great conversation to have with all of us. So if you are a consultant, a coach, a solopreneur, a service provider, and you have been thinking about your pricing strategy and feeling like it is the right time to raise your prices, stick around because this is what we're digging into today. Now, my 3 clients are definitely at a point where they can be raising their prices and they're having all sorts of feelings about it. And so let's talk about this. We are going to cover 4 key things today. Number 1 is why you would want to raise your price as a consultant. Number 2 is where your prices should fall in line with the marketplace. Number 3 is how to communicate your price increase. And number 4, all of those fraudy feelings that come up when we raise our fees and our prices. So first, let's dig into why you would even want to do this in the first place, okay? So the first reason you may want to raise your prices right now is because your services are more valuable now than they were when you started. So as a consultant, as a service provider, as a coach, you become better at your skill, hopefully, and how you deliver it over time. Your expertise increases because you're constantly learning new things. Your skills improve. The product or the service that you deliver offers more value. You've fine-tuned the way you deliver, the way you do things. And so therefore, what you deliver to your clients is more valuable. If and when that's the case, it is a good time to think about raising your prices. If that has happened, you have probably found number 2, supply and demand is leading you to want to increase your prices. So if you are fully booked, if you are turning away clients, first of all, good for you, girl. That is the position we all want to be in. But it's also a signal that it is potentially time to adjust your pricing. Okay. Perhaps you are not fully booked, but you want to work the same amount of hours but make more money, okay? That might be an opportunity to adjust your pricing. Perhaps you want to work less hours and make the same amount of money, okay? So there are a lot of reasons around supply and demand and our time and how we want to leverage that time that gets us thinking about our pricing. Number 3 is attracting ideal clients. Higher prices can position you as a premium provider. We're going to talk about this a little bit. Attracting clients who value quality over cost, and by positioning yourself as a higher paid consultant, it communicates a higher level of expertise, of authority, of exclusivity. Okay. And so there is this attachment between price and perceived value. All right. And so that might be something that you want to reposition yourself, your brand, your services. And a part of that repositioning is looking at the pricing. And then the 4th thing is just basic inflation and operating costs. I mean, we have all felt it over the past couple of years. This is real life. Rising costs mean that your margins are going lower, that your profitability is going down. And so you might be forced to increase your pricing as a way to keep up with the demands of just running your business in a profitable way. Now, if any of those resonate with you, let's talk about how you should think about pricing your service within the marketplace, okay? Because this is tough. We know that consulting, that service providers have had a really tough time over the past couple of years. It is not as frothy as it was. People are being really careful about every dollar they spend right now. But I do think there is still opportunity to raise prices in the right way at the right time. And let's look at the general landscape of like where you should fall within the marketplace if you are thinking about your pricing right now. There is something to be said about your prices being an anchor to the perceived value that your client gets in return. So if you are buying something cheap, you are expecting cheap results, okay? So you don't want to be the lowest price. You don't want to be the cheapest. And then you're, attracting cheap clients who are expecting cheap results. You really that's not where I want you hanging out, okay? On the flip side of that, there may be a scenario where you want to be the most expensive. This isn't where I position myself, but I do see people and I have worked with people who price their services very high. Sometimes I'm like, "Whoa, girl, you get it, you go for it. If that's what you're trying to do, I am here for it." And at that place, she is willing to work with fewer clients. She wants to create a very premium brand ethos, and she wants to create clients that resonate with that. And I think that is fine if you are able to deliver results that justify your pricing and you are okay with getting a lot of no's or just working with a selective group of clients. I am totally fine with you pricing at the top. If that is what works for you, I think that is great. Now, for most of us, I'd say we want to be somewhere in the middle, not the bottom, not the absolute top, but somewhere in the middle. I like the top third of pricing. So this keeps our rates aligned with the market, but it demands a level of respect and it projects a level of experience and authority and results that attracts the kind of clients that I want for myself and that I want for you to have. Now, experience and the results that you get definitely play a role in the decision on how you price things out. But if you are new or you are just starting out or you are creating a new program, I don't want you to think that you have to be priced the lowest, okay? Those two things aren't necessarily correlated. So even if you are new to the consulting world or you are just branching out on your own, you don't have to price the lowest. I would say really strive for that mid-tier range or just slightly below average, but don't go lower. And I would work to get your first couple of clients signed on, build some case studies, and then quickly, build the confidence and the opportunity to raise your rates as you go. Okay? Don't stay so lowly priced for a long time. So, now that you've figured out that you are able to raise your prices, you know why you want to raise your prices and about where you want to fall within the range, you need to communicate that price increase. For anybody that has existing clients, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can either grandfather those clients into the rates that they already have, or you can communicate and provide an advance notice to your clients that will be having a rate increase in the future. So I never like to spring this on people, right? Give them a little heads up that either the next time your contract renews or if you're on a month to month, starting in 3 months, my rates are going to increase this way, and give them a chance to plan accordingly. Now, know that some clients might not renew, know that some clients are going to bulk, but I think it's really important that if you frame this positively and explain why you're doing this, a lot of times, unless it's not a huge jump, clients will understand. And so I always like to emphasize the added value that clients will receive by the rate increase. So that could be the fact that you're taking on less clients as a result of raising your prices. And so you'll be able to dedicate more resources to them. It could be additional skills or services that you're including in your package. It could be that you've seen so much results and you've gotten better at delivering results that you're able to raise the prices confidently. Okay. And so these can be really difficult conversations when you're talking to an existing client and you're talking to them about raising your rates. So I want you to feel confident in these conversations. Your relationships with your clients are two-way, all right? So I want you to position this as a way that feels very collaborative with your client. Let them into the thought process behind why you are doing this, why this will be good for them in the long term, and let them know that this price adjustment really is going to help them achieve their goals more effectively. Okay. And then give people a grace period. Allow them to lock in their old rates for a set amount of time. If you are making a really big increase, perhaps you provide transitional pricing. So we're going to increase the price from X to Y over 4 months and let them kind of transition into that new pricing. Now, remember, when you're talking to your clients about these price increases, it really is a conversation. So make sure to leave space in the conversation to hear from your client and to get their feedback. And be willing to work with them to come up with a solution, but that doesn't mean you have to hold your old rate. If you are confident in your rate, that might mean that you have to let go of some of your existing clients and get new clients, and be okay with that if that's your decision. Now, there are a lot of feelings that come up. I think one of the biggest barriers the women that I work with face in raising their pricing is not being able to deliver results that reflect the pricing. It's not having the conversation or putting the number out there. It's really the emotion that comes attached to raising your rates. It's the fear of losing your existing clients, worrying that clients won't pay the higher rates. It's the imposter syndrome that, you're doubting if you're really worth that increase. It's the guilt that comes along with feeling like you're asking too much. And so I want you to acknowledge that all of these feelings exist, okay? And that you deserve to raise your rates anyways. You deserve to be paid fairly and compensated well for the services and the products that you deliver, okay? And I want you to reframe how you're feeling about it. I want you to recognize this moment and celebrate it. You have gotten to the point in your business where you either have delivered such a great product that your clients are seeing amazing results and you can raise the rate. You are booked out and you are trying to increase the amount of money you make by working the same amount of hours. Or you are at a point in your life where you want to leverage your time. And so I want you to recognize that this is an opportunity. This is a moment in time where you can elevate your business and your services. And I want you to celebrate that. Okay? So let's wrap this up. Let's take it home. If you are thinking about or wondering about if this is the time to raise your rates, go through and analyze the things that we talked about. Are your clients seeing better results? Have your skills and expertise increased? Are you trying to attract better clients? Is there a supply and demand issue? Are you just needing to increase margin in your business to cover the higher costs that you have? Think about where you want to fall in line with the marketplace. Develop a communication plan to communicate this to both your existing clients and the marketplace. And recognize that this can bring up a lot of emotions, but ultimately, you are at a point where you are ready to raise your rates, girl, and go make bank. Tell me what you think. I would love your perspective. Let's talk about this. This is a short and sweet episode. If you want more help on pricing, go to Honeybee's group. I have a profit planner on the website. It's a little course, quick and easy, that will help you think about your pricing strategy, walk you through different scenarios of how you can price your products and think about profitability. It would be a great tool if you're thinking about raising your prices to go inside with this. Until next time, girls. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Make Bank. If you like what you've heard, please remember to subscribe, like, and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Please review and share our show to help spread the word and help your girls make bank. And I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram, or visit honeybeesgroup.co. Until next time, friends.